So, yeah, on our 5th relationship anniversary, I found out my wife had been sleeping with the competition. Happy anniversary to me, right? But let's rewind the tape a bit before we get to the fireworks. You need the build-up to appreciate the bang. We're Claire and Nate, or we were Clayt, as our subscribers affectionately and nauseatingly called us. A mid-tier couple channel that made decent money from brand deals and moderately cringy vlogs. You know the type. Whisper challenges, 24 hours in Walmart, fake arguments that somehow end in marriage proposals. Our niche? Faux authenticity. People loved watching us be raw and real in high-res lighting with perfectly timed thumbnails. The truth? Off camera, Claire was the brand. I was the lens jockey with a charming enough face to fit the thumbnail. But she was the queen of the algorithm. Hashtags, engagement tricks, thumbnail split tests. I learned early on to let her drive, and she did, with her perfectly manicured fingers and surgically curated lifestyle. Anyway, here's where things started to smell funny. It wasn't a lipstick on the collar situation. No, Claire's way slicker than that. It was her Chrome history. I know, real boomer of me, but every time I opened her laptop to edit or pull footage, her browser history was clean as a nun's diary. Every single time. Now, we're YouTubers. We practically live online. We research trends, stalk comment sections, dig through Reddit for gossip. So why was her history wiped daily? When I asked her, she gave this fluttery laugh and said, "I'm just OCD about my digital footprint." You know that. My gut didn't buy it, but my brain played dumb. We were planning our 5-year anniversary video, complete with a surprise giveaway, a fake engagement tease. We were already married, surprise again, and a stupid candlelight dinner scene that would rack up clicks from bored couples on the brink of divorce. Classic. So, I smiled, nodded, and started poking around in the background. Quiet like. No accusations. Just curiosity with a side of cynicism. Enter the shared Google Analytics dashboard. See, we tracked all traffic to our site and private merch pages through a custom dashboard. IP logs, source links, dwell time, the works. I noticed something weird. A spike in site traffic from a local hotel Wi-Fi IP address, recurring every Thursday afternoon for the last 6 weeks. She was supposed to be at her therapy sessions then, working on her anxiety. Ironic. The IP belonged to a luxury boutique hotel just 15 minutes from our place. I called it up, pretending to book a surprise spa day. Just needed to confirm availability with my wife's name. Lo and behold, she was a regular. Still, that wasn't enough. I needed more. So I did what any petty, over-caffeinated, quietly unraveling husband would do. I created a sock puppet fan account. Enter JaredFanX_89. Jared is her favorite boy band singer from high school, so naturally, I made my sock account a blend of fandom thirst and subtle flirty DMs. It took 2 days. 2 days of cringe comments and DM baiting before I got the reply. Not from Claire, though. No. The reply came from him, Josh from Jules and Josh, our biggest rival couple channel. The guy had been sniffing around for months, collabing with us for Q&As and TikToks like he was our best friend. Turned out he was more than friendly with Claire, at least. And guess what? I got him to sex me. Full-on unsolicited JPEGs from a hotel bathroom that matched the one in our analytics spike. Idiot. But I wasn't mad. That's the thing. I wasn't even surprised. What I felt, in that moment, was clarity. Pure, icy, cathartic clarity. Because now I had what I needed. Not for a confrontation. No, that's not my style. For a broadcast. Our 5-year anniversary vlog would go live in 4 days. She'd already filmed her sweet, teary-eyed monologue about loving through the hard times and growing stronger as partners. It was disgusting. Perfect. She thought I was editing a montage of our greatest hits. I was. Just not the kind she expected. By the time I started editing the anniversary vlog, I had it all. Timestamps, chat logs, screenshots, hotel bookings, and one particularly damning photo of Claire wearing a robe from the Indigo Suites, making the exact same kissy face she used in our clickbait thumbnails. She even titled the damn image Feeling Naughty.jpg. I wish I was kidding. You'd think catching your wife cheating would come with this big emotional detonation. Tears. Rage. Bargaining. That 5-step grief checklist. But for me, nothing. Just a calm wave of purpose. Like I'd finally been assigned the role I was born for. Vindictive, passive-aggressive AV nerd with a chip on his shoulder and Final Cut Pro on his side. The only thing I felt was anticipation. Now let me explain something about YouTube couples, especially the mid-tier ones like us. We're not big enough to be bulletproof, but we're just big enough to matter. 1 million subs sounds like power, but really it's pressure, constant churn, constant relevance seeking, living in the slow-motion avalanche of public opinion. One false move, and your empire of affiliate links and crate and barrel discount codes crumbles like day-old shortbread. That's what made this perfect. The plan was simple. Use the vlog to out her. But not in some explosive, cancel-happy, scorch-earth way. Nah, I wanted it quiet. I wanted it subtle. I wanted the internet to discover the truth, one damning breadcrumb at a time. Let them do what they do best, dig, speculate, analyze. Viral justice isn't loud. It's patient. It's crowdsourced. So, I cut together the opening just like she wanted. Cute clips. Baby voice narration. The shot where she pretends to be overwhelmed by our first date location and gets fake misty because that's where we ordered the cheese fries and realized we were soulmates. Vomit. Then came the good part. Instead of the sappy couple Q&A she expected, I used voiceovers. Aesthetic black and white slow-mo shots from our old travel footage, Paris, the Maldives, that fake hiking trip where she faked a twisted ankle just to avoid sweat. And over it, I read from his messages. Not all of them. Just the tasteful ones. The ones where he called her, his future brand partner, and a better content fit than Jules, his actual girlfriend/co-host. The kicker? He literally said, "We'll use the Clade audience to launch our couple channel. Once Nate's out of the picture, we'll build something more real." Oh, Josh, you greasy, dimlit McInfluencer. You gave me the quote of the century. Of course, I didn't say his name. That's the beauty of it. No accusations. Just breadcrumbs. But enough for anyone with decent sleuthing skills or a pulse to start connecting dots. The real treat was how I timed the montage. Every time one of those messages appeared on screen, I faded in the Instagram handle at CladeOfficial in the bottom right, like it was part of the branding. Then I added glitch transitions. It gave the illusion that the file was corrupt, like it had been tampered with, even though it was all me. Artisanal deception. Now, here's where things get juicy. I scheduled the video to go live Sunday at 7 p.m. That's when most of our audience is home, slightly buzzed, scrolling with greasy thumbs and open wallets. Prime engagement time. We even promoted it all week like it was the second coming of Ross and Rachel. Claire had no clue. She kept asking if I was done polishing the montage. Polishing. Like we were waxing a nostalgic turd. I told her, yeah babe, just adding the sparkle filter. The night before upload, she even suggested we film a follow-up Q&A to ride the anniversary hype. I told her I had a headache. She didn't ask twice. She was too busy texting someone with her screen tilted away from me. Subtle. Sunday arrived. We filmed our fake reaction to the vlog going live. You know, that pathetic watch party thing couples do to pretend they're shocked by the video they edited themselves. We acted surprised at our own faces. Wow, look at us. That's from Bali. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, sure you did. What she didn't realize was that I had spliced in the reveal right after the first 5 minutes. It's so seamless it practically whispered betrayal. At 7:04 p.m., it dropped. YouTube premiere. Live chat blowing up with little heart emojis and fangirls screaming goals. My favorite was the comment that said, "If this doesn't restore your faith in love, nothing will." Hang tight, Ashley_14. We're just getting started. By 7:09, the vibe shifted. That's when the first viewer noticed the messages. One even paused and screen capped the glitch segment. Someone posted, did anyone else see that text about Nate being replaced? By 7:15, we had theories. Full threads on Reddit. Theories ranged from, this is a clever marketing stunt, to she's cheating on him with a team member. A couple sharp fans even identified the hotel logo from the robe, Indigo Suites. One eagle-eyed subscriber matched it with a vlog from Jules and Josh. They'd filmed there too. Coincidence? By 7:26 p.m., we trended on Twitter. #unsubscribed started climbing. Claire? She was still smiling dumbly, refreshing our analytics. We're killing it, babe. Look at these watch times. Everyone's so into it. And then, like a fart in church, it hit her. She saw the comment. Bro. Is that Josh? From Jules and Josh? She blinked. Refreshed again. Then the messages. The cropped screenshots. A slowed-down frame someone had isolated, showing her tattoo, a tiny arrow on her collarbone, peeking out from the hotel robe. Frozen, damning, and 4K. The smile faded. Nate, she said slowly. What is this? I just tilted my head, all innocent. You said you wanted it raw and real. She bolted, probably to delete her messages or call her little affair partner. Maybe to puke. I don't know. I stayed in my chair, sipped my drink, and watched our subscriber count plummet. Or climb. Hard to say. A lot of hate watches came in. YouTube's weird that way. But I wasn't done yet. Oh no. That was just part 2. Part 3's where I show you how the fallout became the content, and how Claire wasn't just cheating on me. She was being played too. And I made sure everyone found out. By Monday morning, the entire influencer ecosystem had devoured itself trying to decode the disaster I'd gift-wrapped for them. Our vlog had crossed 2 million views overnight, up from our usual 200K. Most of it came from people rewatching the glitch segments, pausing every frame, amplifying pixels like amateur detectives in a Netflix docuseries. Our fanbase? Fractured. Half were mourning the death of their favorite couple goals. The other half were gleefully gleaming with popcorn fingers, screaming "called it," like prophets with Wi-Fi. But my favorite group? The silent lurkers. The fellow creators. They weren't commenting, just watching, eyes wide, jaws clenched, recognizing how close they all were to the same fall. Claire didn't say much that morning. I found her in the kitchen scrolling through her phone, barefoot, hair messy, face pale. No makeup. The raw, unfiltered version, ironic, considering that's what she always claimed we were giving our audience. She was answering DMs, which meant desperately trying to control a fire she couldn't even locate the edges of. Someone must have hacked the video, she said eventually, voice tight, like her throat was clenching around the lie before it escaped. I didn't look up from my cereal. Yeah, that's wild. She glanced at me. I searching. For what? Guilt? Weakness? An opening? She found none. You didn't. I mean, you wouldn't. Edit in private text between you and someone else? I said, meeting her gaze. Nah, that would be manipulative. Silence. To her credit, she knew better than to play dumb. Claire's smart. Smart enough to orchestrate affairs behind a brand. Smart enough to lie with conviction. But not smart enough to think I wouldn't notice when the analytics showed the same IP pinging our merch backend every Thursday. Or when she changed her phone password from our anniversary date to JJ_Lover27. Subtle, babe. But this wasn't about her anymore. Not really. The audience already suspected Josh. But no one had proof. I hadn't named him. I'd just shown enough to plant the seed and let internet sleuths water it. That's where the next phase of my plan came in. See, the thing about Josh? He wasn't just cheating with Claire. He was doing something even better, recruiting her. Turns out, old Joshy boy had been whispering sweet nothings about starting a new channel. A better one. One where Claire could shine without being tied to a deadweight editor husband. His words, not mine. I found them in a backup of Claire's deleted messages. Pro tip, just because you delete the chat doesn't mean the cloud forgets. iCloud remembers everything. Like a vengeful librarian with receipts. So I did what any vindictive storyteller with a god complex would do. I pulled up every message between them and drafted a script. A second video. This time from me. My face. My voice. My story. I wasn't going to shout. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to narrate. 12 minutes of slow burn clarity. Shot in our living room. No jump cuts. No fancy transitions. Just me and the truth. I called it, unsubscribed, the other side. And then I waited. Let the first video marinate a bit longer. Let Claire and Josh sweat through the aftermath like wet mannequins. On Tuesday, while Claire was out clearing her head, translation, panic texting lawyers, I uploaded the video privately, sent the link to 5 creators in our circle, and sat back. For hours later, it was everywhere. It opened with me holding up a phone showing the analytics spike from the hotel IP. Cut to screen recordings of Josh's messages. Not screenshots. Screen recordings. So there could be no claims of Photoshop. Every scroll, every timestamp, every emoji-laden promise of you and me, baby, content kings and queens was in there. Then came the best part. I played a voice memo. Josh's voice. Drunk. Rambling. Sent to Claire one night after a collab shoot, thinking he was being so handsome. Instead, he went full confessional. Jules is boring as hell. Dead eyes. You're the real star, babe. I swear, the way you fake laugh at those audience questions? It's magic. We could destroy them. First Clate, then Jules and Josh. Rebrand, relaunch. Wipe them out. Pure narcissism. Gold-plated stupidity. The internet ate it. People started tagging Jules in every thread. Comment sections became war zones. Fan edits showed Jules looking bored in old videos. Others claimed to spot the tension in her eyes. We knew it. They screamed. She knew. She just couldn't say it. And then, just when it couldn't get worse for them, Jules spoke. Not to Claire. Not to Josh. To me. She DM'd me late Tuesday night with a single sentence. I knew something was off. Thank you for confirming it. We FaceTimed the next day. Turns out, Jules had her own suspicions for months. But she never had proof. Josh kept everything on his work phone. Classic double life play. She'd seen messages here and there, weird tone shifts, late nights that didn't add up. But he was always just networking. No? She had everything. The texts. The voice memo. The audience. We plotted. And it wasn't just to take him down. It was to turn the takedown into content. Claire came home that night looking like a kicked puppy. Her voice was soft. Her makeup was gone. She asked me if we could talk. I poured myself a drink. Sat on the couch. Sure, I said. Let's chat. But first, I hit publish on a new collab announcement. Coming this Friday, Jules x Nate. Truth, brand, and betrayal. No hashtags. No captions. Just us, in frame, side by side. Smiling. The internet cracked in half. Claire's face when she saw the thumbnail? Delicious. But the real climax wasn't public yet. That came on Friday, when I sat next to Jules, looked into the lens, and told everyone exactly how both of us had been betrayed, and how we were going to cash every ounce of that betrayal into the kind of exposure Josh and Claire never saw coming. And the best part? They couldn't do a damn thing about it. Friday came faster than I expected. Not in the way time flies when you're having fun, but in the way a freight train barrels toward you once you're tied to the tracks. Except I wasn't the one tied down anymore. Claire and Josh were. And the train? That was me and Jules, with a camera, a script, and 1.7 million subscribers watching with popcorn breath and pitchforks on standby. We titled the video Truth, Brand, and Betrayal. Subtle enough to pique curiosity, loaded enough to hint at drama. The thumbnail? Me and Jules on a white couch, deadpan, both holding our phones like we were about to read receipts from hell. We knew exactly what we were doing. It was the kind of thumbnail that made people stop mid-scroll, raise an eyebrow, and whisper, "Oh, this gonna be messy." It dropped at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Prime time. Claire was in the other room when it premiered. I could hear her pacing. Not like normal pacing. This was that agitated, tight circles, muttering to yourself kind of pacing. She'd already seen the thumbnail. She texted me, "What the F*** is this?" 15 minutes before upload. I didn't respond. I wasn't in the mood to lie to her gently anymore. The first 5 minutes of the video were Jules and me setting the table. Calm voices. Straight backs. No jump cuts. No shaky cam tears. Just eye contact and tone, the kind of tone that says, "We've both been lied to, and now it's your turn to know the truth." We took turns reading our respective messages. Hers from Josh, mine from Claire. We read them like newscasters on a slow day, no drama, just the facts. I can't stand filming with Nate anymore. He's so boring, like a rock with a camera. Claire, August 3rd. Followed by Jules, "Babe, if we launch in October, we'll take half their audience by default. Plate's dying anyway." Josh, August 6th. Then came the footage. We didn't overdo it. Just a few quiet screen recordings of their messages. One hotel check-in confirmation. A single blurry, but unmistakable, photo from Claire's camera roll. Her reflection in the mirror at the Indigo Suites. Towel on head. Josh's watch clearly visible on the sink. We didn't have to accuse them. We just showed what was already there. And let me tell you, the internet loved it. Comments exploded. Hundreds, then thousands. People screaming in disbelief. Theories spiraling into full-blown investigative threads. Subreddits lit up like Vegas. TikToks with red circles and conspiracy music. People comparing Claire's towel pic to one Josh posted a week earlier from his hotel stay. Same sink, same towel texture, same timestamp metadata someone dug out of a cached version of the post. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was content. Claire came into the room just after minute 11 hit, which, unfortunately for her, was when Jules started explaining how the betrayal wasn't just romantic. It was strategic. Josh had been planning to poach Claire for over a year. Feeding her compliments during collabs, planting seeds about needing someone with real charisma, even offering her a 40-60 rev split on a new channel. Behind Jules's back. Behind my back. All while playing best friend to both of us. Claire froze in the doorway when she heard it. That was the moment she realized she wasn't the villain of a cheating story. She was the mark in a con job, the sidekick who thought she was the star. I watched her face. Pale, eyes wide, lips parted slightly, like she was trying to form a defense but couldn't find the words. "You knew," she said to me finally. "No," I said. "I learned." She didn't cry. Not yet. Claire doesn't cry in front of people unless there's a camera and soft lighting involved. But I could see the panic brewing behind her stare. "You made me look like a homewrecker," she said. "You made yourself look like one," I corrected. "I just published your work." And then, because I wanted to twist the knife with all the finesse of a YouTuber who'd been ignored for years while doing 90% of the work, I added, "You always said I needed to make better thumbnails." Yes, I finally did. She left. Not in a dramatic stomp-out kind of way. She walked like a ghost who hadn't realized she was dead yet. No suitcase, no threats, no screaming. Just drifted into the hallway, phone clenched in hand, probably calling Josh, who, according to Twitter, had just gone private. Oh yeah, Josh's channel? Imploding. Jules had access to the admin login, and she used it like a scorned deity. Unpublished their last 10 videos. Changed the bio to, "Taking a break to reevaluate our values." Left the comments open on every upload. The internet did the rest. I spent that weekend watching the view count climb like it owed me money. Our collab video hit 4 million views in 2 days. Sponsors reached out, not to cancel, but to offer new deals. Authenticity was trending. Apparently, exposing betrayal was now a marketable trait. But I didn't care about the brand. Not really. Not anymore. I cared about the narrative. The justice. The feeling of taking every calculated breadcrumb and stacking them into a skyscraper of undeniable, irreversible truth. By Sunday, Claire had moved out. She didn't say goodbye. She left a note on the fridge that said, "You win." No signature. No apology. Just 2 words that proved she finally got it. This wasn't about revenge. This was about control. And for once, I had it. But there was still one loose thread left dangling in this little digital tapestry. And I was going to pull it. Because as it turns out, Josh wasn't done screwing people over. He'd been cheating on both of us. And when I found out who the third player was in this triangle turned rectangle, well, 3 days after Claire moved out, I got a message request on Instagram from an account called It Live Laughs With You. At first glance, I thought it was spam. You get a sixth sense for that kind of thing after spending half your life posting content online. But the handle seemed oddly familiar, so I clicked it. The profile photo was a smiley brunette in front of a ring light, typical influencer fare. The bio read, "Mom, wellness, coffee addict, living loud and real." And then I remembered Liv, Josh's ex from before Jules, the one he never mentioned by name, but always referred to as the reason I don't date civilians anymore. Her message? 5 words. "We need to talk. Urgent." I stared at it for a full minute before replying. About. Her reply came fast. Claire wasn't the only one. Now, to be clear, I hadn't exactly assumed Josh was a one-woman guy. The man took more selfies than a makeup tutorial channel and once said, on camera, that monogamy was a social experiment with diminishing returns. But Liv? I'd forgotten she even existed. And she clearly hadn't forgotten anything. She sent a phone number. I called. The first thing she said was, "I'm sorry if this is weird, but I've been watching the videos. Yours, Jules. All of it. I need to tell you something before someone else weaponizes it." Well, that's a hell of an opener. She explained that she and Josh had broken up 2 years earlier, publicly at least. But off camera, they'd still been seeing each other every few months. Quiet meetups. No posts. Just catching up at first, then full-blown hotel escapades when he was on business trips. And here's the kicker. Some of those trips overlapped with his early collaborations with Claire. That's right. The man wasn't just cheating with Claire while faking a happy channel with Jules. He was also cheating on Claire. With Liv. It was like watching a magician pull doves out of a hat and then casually reveal the hat was actually a small house filled with mirrors, gas leaks, and poorly kept secrets. Liv didn't want to go public, she said. She didn't want the attention. But she'd seen the videos, and she knew her silence could be twisted, leaked, monetized by someone else. And she'd rather come clean directly to the guy who, in her words, lit the match. So I asked her a question. "Do you have proof?" She laughed. "Oh, honey, I have receipts, timestamps, and a hotel loyalty card in his name. God bless organized exes." She sent it all: screenshots, voicemails, email confirmations. The piece de resistance was a video message Josh had sent her just 4 months ago. Shirtless, lying in bed, whispering about how he missed her realness and how filming with Claire feels like pretending to love a chatbot. I asked if I could use it. She said yes, under one condition: blur her face in anything I showed. Deal. Now I had a new problem: what to do with this. The fire was already burning. The audience was still obsessed. Claire had gone quiet. Josh was in hiding. Jules and I were riding the wave with 2 new sponsor offers and a guest invite from a podcast that promised the most savage betrayal in YouTube history. But this was gasoline. And I couldn't help myself. So I got creative. I filmed a follow-up. A short one this time. Just 5 minutes. Minimal cuts. A single camera angle. Me, holding a printout of Josh's hotel itinerary and reading parts of his message to live aloud. I didn't even say who she was. Just called her someone who knew him better than we thought. It dropped Sunday night. And by Monday morning, the dam had burst again. Josh's entire platform flatlined. Brands ghosted him. Collaborators distanced themselves. The Jules and Josh YouTube banner was replaced with a gray rectangle and the words, "This channel is no longer active." Claire, now entirely excommunicated from her own audience, released a Notes app apology on Instagram. I made mistakes. I hurt people. I was lied to as well. Comments were disabled. The damage was done. But none of that surprised me. What had surprised me was how many DMs I started getting from other creators, small ones, mid-tier, even a few who had worked with Josh years ago. Each message was a variation of the same theme. He tried to poach my girlfriend. He said he could grow our channel, then ghosted us. He told me Jules was toxic and needed to be pushed out. The man wasn't just cheating. He was building a system. A pipeline of content partners, girlfriends, replacements, and brand-friendly relationships, all disposable, all curated to serve his upward climb. When one person stopped boosting him, he slid the next one in. Claire thought she was special. She was just a draft. I took the best quotes from these messages and compiled them into a montage. Anonymous. Blurred names. No doxing. Just patterns. Evidence. Voices layered over B-roll of empty hotel beds and ring lights flickering like dying stars. The final line was a voice memo from Josh himself. From a month ago. You think these fans care who's behind the camera? They just want a pretty face and a happy lie. That was the final beat. I didn't narrate it. I didn't appear on screen. I let his words hang. The title of the video? Behind the Camera. It trended for 3 days. We passed 5 million subs that week. Jules and I weren't a couple, not even close, but the internet didn't care. They'd already rebranded us. They called us the X-Files. Said we were the revenge duo they didn't know they needed. Merch companies reached out. I ignored most of them. This wasn't about building a new empire. It was about burning the old one down. But there was still one thing left. Not for Josh. Not for Claire. For me. Because for the first time in years, I had the audience's attention. And I had something to say. The kind of message you don't deliver in thumbnails or 15-minute exposés. The kind you deliver live. 2 weeks after Behind the Camera blew up, I scheduled a live stream. No announcement, no promo. Just a single Instagram story that said, tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. One last thing. I didn't even show my face in the teaser. Just black background, white text. Old school minimalist, like I was about to drop a mixtape instead of the final nail in someone's coffin. I watched the DMs pour in anyway, fans, creators, even reporters guessing what it could be. Are you launching a new channel with Jules? Are you suing Claire? Are you going back to solo content? Cute. Very off. Very. Small picture. See, by then, I'd realized something. The revenge had already happened. The cheating was exposed. The lies unraveled. The brand torn to pieces. Claire was done. Josh was radioactive. Jules had taken control of her narrative and come out stronger. Everyone got what they deserved, or at least, what they feared most. But I hadn't gotten what I wanted. Not yet. What I wanted wasn't clicks or pity. It wasn't validation. What I wanted was simple. Silence. Not literal silence, like turn off the comments. No, I wanted the kind of silence that comes when people stop talking about the version of you that they invented. The Nate they remembered from Clate, a background character with a steady camera hand and no voice of his own. The guy who edited the jokes but never told one. Who filmed the proposal prank but never proposed. Who got cheated on, exposed it, and now is just another story in someone else's feed. That wasn't enough. So, at exactly 8 p.m., I hit go live. The frame opened on me sitting at my desk. Nothing dramatic, just a regular desk, lamp on, mic wired. Hoodie. No fake energy. No awkward host voice. Hey, I said. If you're watching this, thanks. If you're hate watching this, thanks more. Chat blew up. I ignored it. I said this would be my last stream. And it is. But not for the reasons you think. I waited. Let that breathe. I'm not here to talk about Claire. Or Josh. Or even Jules. I'm not here to read DMs, answer questions, or react to your favorite betrayals. I'm here to end a story. My story. I took out my old Clate vlog camera. The first one we ever used. Battered Sony a6400, duct tape on the battery flap, lens scratched just enough to give everything a subtle filter. I held it up. This little guy right here? This thing built our channel. It captured the fake hikes, the fake fights, the fake engagement, and the real betrayal. It's been with me longer than Claire was. I smiled. Not a big grin. Just a tired smirk. The kind you make when you realize the joke wasn't funny, but the setup was brilliant. I plugged the SD card into my computer. Clicked open the last folder. Played the final file. It was me. Alone. In our living room. The night I found the first message from Josh. The night everything started. The footage wasn't for a video. It was for me. I recorded it because I knew, deep down, that one day I'd want to remember the moment I stopped being the background character. On the recording, I looked tired. Hollow. But calm. I spoke slowly. She's cheating, the version of me on the screen said. And I'm not going to confront her. I'm going to document it. I'm going to let her lie. And I'm going to let her dig the hole deep enough that when I expose her, there's no ladder out. Back in real time, the chat was going wild. People spamming skull emojis, clapping, crying. One user wrote, "This is cinema." I almost laughed. I minimized the video. I'm not proud of how much I enjoyed it. The exposure. The fall. Watching her go down while pretending I didn't know what was coming. It felt good. Too good. Pause. But it's not sustainable. This revenge thing? It's a drug. Feels incredible at first, but you keep chasing a high that fades fast. I leaned forward. And I'm done chasing it. That's when I said it. I'm deleting the channel. The chat erupted like a fire alarm went off. All caps. WDF. You're kidding. This is a bit, right? It wasn't. I'm taking everything down. Clate. My solo content. Even the exposés. All of it. Not because I'm ashamed. Not because I regret it. Because the story is over. I tapped the mouse. One click. The YouTube dashboard opened. I hovered over the delete channel button. A red warning box popped up. This will permanently remove all videos, playlists, and comments. I hovered. And then I clicked. Just like that, 5 years vanished. Chat disconnected. Stream ended. Nothing left. Afterward, I sat in the dark. No applause. No notifications. Just silence. Real, actual silence. Claire texted me 5 minutes later. What did you do? I didn't answer. Jules called. Left a voicemail. Call me. Please. We can talk about this. I didn't. Because there was nothing else to say. Later that night, I opened a new document. No title. No agenda. Just blank space. That's where I started writing again. Not scripts. Not stories. Something real. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe a book. Maybe nothing. But it's mine. No sponsors. No thumbnails. No betrayal arcs. Just a guy, finally off camera, figuring out who he is when no one's watching. That's the real twist. Not that Claire cheated. Not that Josh played them both. Not that Jules and I went viral for revenge. The real twist? I never needed the channel. They did. And now? They're all still online. Still posting. Still chasing the algorithm. While I'm not. I win. Subscribe to the channel.